Hi everyone, my name is Kartik Pilulamari, and today I'll be presenting the tool I have been developing in CS6460 Educational Technology at Georgia Tech. The tool I have been developing is a tool I like to call the Customizable Word Processing App for mobile devices. So let's begin. So before we get into the tool itself, I want to give you some background about the problem I found through investigating research through research papers and the problem I have been focusing on trying to solve. So to start off, during my research, I found out that low-income families often cannot afford computers. Computers with monitor, speaker, software, and printer can be 10 to 15% of the poverty level income of a family of four. So considering other expenses such as housing, food, healthcare, computers are usually not a high priority for families with this level of income. Now, when they can't afford computers, this leads to digital divide. The digital divide is the gap of digital literacy between the poor and the wealthy. Now, if these low-income families cannot afford computers, they will fall behind the wealthy as they're not gaining the digital skills that are so necessary in a world that is becoming more dependent on technology. So if the families can't afford computers, the students from these families cannot use digital tools, which most students find very valuable when it comes to their education. For example, 76% of students regularly use word processors, and 67% of students use the computer almost every day at home. Now, if such a great percentage of students find it valuable to use computers at home, and these students from low-income families cannot afford to use these computers, they will fall behind and miss out on the opportunity to build digital skills and perform well in their education. Now, one thing I found through research is that low-income families access internet through smartphones. There has been a dramatic rise in internet access through mobile devices among African Americans and Latinos in low-income neighborhoods. This led me to synthesize that while these families do not have computers at home, their children may be connecting to the internet through their smartphones. So if they're connecting the internet through their smartphones, that is a step up from not being able to connect to the internet at all, but it is still a disadvantage when compared to students who can use physical computers at home. Hauser and Thorne conducted an experiment at a Japanese university with 24 Japanese students. After giving them the same typing tasks on mobile devices and desktop PCs, the students typed at 10 words per minute on the on-screen keyboard of a mobile device and 23 words per minute on desktop PCs. This is a huge difference. That is less than half of the speed of a desktop PC on a mobile device. So the core problem I've been trying to solve is bridge the gap between students who can only use mobile devices because that's all they have to connect to the internet, and the students with physical computers. To do that, I have spent the semester focusing on developing the prototype of a mobile application that allows students to add custom symbols and keys that are typically unavailable on the word processing apps on mobile devices. So the intent of these custom symbols and keys is to replicate the functionality that is super easy to do on a physical computer, but is hard to do on a mobile device. By doing this, we could create and we could improve the efficiency of students who use mobile devices to create documents, as they can easily do those same actions that they would do on a physical computer on a mobile device instead of taking much longer to do an action. So an example of this is to delete the previous sentence, which you could either do by backspacing or highlighting and removing that entire sentence. So one thing I focused on was to create a key where you pressed one button and you're able to delete the previous sentence. Just an optimization to make them more efficient, and this would allow them to type documents on their mobile devices quickly, to have more time to focus on learning the material of other challenging classes.